welcome to my channel. I'm John, and this is a long overdue review of these two little knives, the Ganzo Firebird FH11, and truly amazing knives. I've prepared my usual coffee. Cheers. And yeah, I said they were truly amazing. They start at $24 for the G10 version, and then the carbon fiber, and it is carbon fiber on laminate, but then again a lot of knives are, and it is at around $29, and I bought them both at GearBest, so it's not like I'm affiliated with GearBest or anything. I just found that GearBest is a reliable, to me, has been a reliable seller. Not very quick, they are rather slow, but a reliable seller, and that's where I bought them, so I mentioned them. You can have Ganzo knives other places too. These knives just sort of serviced, and at that price, a little rumor about D2 steel, carbon fiber, yeah, the whole 9 yards at $28. That was amazing. So of course I had to try and get them, and by now they are sort of the talk of the town all over the community for those of us who like Ganzo knives. And I know for some of you Ganzo is yeah, sort of controversial. For those of you who don't know, Ganzo makes, let's call it homage knives. They use other designs, but still they use their own name and brand and so on the knives. When you have the knife in hand, you can have no doubt that it's not the original brand knife. I'm not going to go in much into that, since I have them, you know. I won't say I don't care, but I don't care enough to sort of shun away from Ganzo. And with these FH11, they sort of made a true game changer. We have the end of year. I'm not hesitating, I think, to call them budget knives of the year. Of course, I compared them to other. There's been a ton of budget knives in the, what would you say, $40 to $60 range, but these are below $30, which makes them quite unique in their price range. Well, I can waffle along about that in a long time. Let's have a look at them. I'll just go through the carbon fiber, and then I'll mention the differences between that and the G10 version as we go along. But of course they are generally quite the same, except for some minor details in the handle. We'll take that as we get there. As usual on my channel, we start at the tip of the end of the blade, and it's quite a standard drop point blade. And you can see the Firebird logo, and as I mentioned, material is D2, and it has been tested in the community, and it is in fact D2, not any type of Chinesium or anything like that. A flat grind all the way up to the swedge up here, and we have a bit of jimping on the top here, not very functional, but yeah, it's there. And just a tiny sharpening choil. Yeah, it's a sharpening choil, it's there, and that's a good thing. Moving on to the handle, at a recessed pivot. Sorry, not recessed, it is a bit raised, just for some design feature. And of course the G10 laminated handle. It is carbon fiber laminated G10 was what I was going to say. And they even replicated the logo, Firebird logo down here. I have taken both of these apart. The hardware is better than usual Ganzo, which can be quite soft, but no issues there, easy to take apart. And ball bearings inside the pivot, still at $28. Amazing. Looking at the other side, deep carry pocket clip, lots of space behind or underneath the pocket clip for some trouser seams. A good thing, and one of my pet peeves. If you're gonna put a pocket clip there, make it useful. And of course the same carbon fiber laminate on the other side, and the same type of pivot screw. And then we have a bit of writing here, and it says Firebird knife made by Ganzo FH11 and D2 steel. Let's try the action. Yeah, that's what I like about these. The action on this knife at this price is amazing, and really, although I've had a lot of Ganzos and they have not been bad, this is just a step up for them. Really an amazing action. The only thing I can complain about, and that's especially in the carbon fiber version, is that the T10 is a little bit weak, and I'll try to show you without knocking the camera over. It probably looks like I'm using a lot more force than I am, but it's rather easy to flip it out, and that's not the best thing. But that's not the same on the G10. I can do it, but I have to use a lot more force. But it both has a little bit weak D10s, a little bit weak for my taste. Perhaps it doesn't matter to you. And as we both can see on both handles, no hole for left side carry, which means that this is not ambidextrous, and that's not a very good thing. I'm sorry, lefties. Further, if we look at the handle, we can see that this G10 is a bit contoured here, has a bit of a recess in the middle, and that's not the case with the carbon fiber version, probably because they are laminated. So if they were to grind the recess in the middle, they would just grind through the laminate. Not a very good thing. So yeah, the action, wow. Ergonomically, yeah, it's a straight knife. It will fit most hands. Could be a little more rounded off. I think it has a few not sharp edges, but just, yeah, you feel they're there, a little square around the edges. In that area, the carbon fiber version is actually a little bit better. Still under ergonomics, the carbon fiber is very, very slippery. The G10 is much less slippery actually. But that's sort of the laminate makes it very slippery, so be aware of that. Not a good thing with gloves, or if you're working in that famous Vaseline factory. So ergonomically, you can easily grab them in the normal grip. Reverse grip is perhaps even a little bit better. And draw cut will of course also be nice, because yeah, it is just a very straight up and down handle, so it'll fit, as I said, most hands perfectly. Sorry, I'm just losing a little bit of voice here. I will take a sip of my coffee. Quick size comparison. Kershaw injection, 3-inch. It's a little smaller all over, and let's take the 3.5 inch. It's sort of the same size, more or less. So you have a reasonable size comparison there, and then let's just the last one. The steel wheel cut jack, sort of the same size, but a much beefier knife. So when I thought of doing this review, I was thinking about comparing them to, Bestech, Civivi, Artisan, and they are quite close. But then again, I would have to fault them on some areas. The action is great, really, really great, but the Civivi knives are better than that. But still, how can I compare something between $20 and $30 with something above 40? So they are in their own range, and they are close to unbeatable in that range. In the $20 to $30 range, this is really some of the best I have seen, not just this year, but all over. And I have no problem mentioning these as my budget knives of the year, at least in the $20 to $30 range. And they really set the bar high for what you can expect. And if this is the way Ganzo is going, I'm clapping my hands. That's going to be great times. All in all, it has been a great year for all those guys who collect budget knives, but this really sets the bar high at the price range. And I could waffle on and on about that forever, but definitely, so far as I've used them, definitely recommend it. And I have used them quite a little bit more because I didn't have time to film before, so they were in my pocket for a reasonable amount of time compared to other knives. And indeed, I am very, very happy with these. I think they are gems in their own right, and I'm looking forward to see what else Ganzo can provide us in the future. So I've been carrying all for a while now. Definitely recommend it. I hope you have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.